session, we are really excited and we might challenge the way you think about business growth and AI. I'm sure all of us know the gap between those who use and don't use AI is widening pretty fast right now. We have Coach Carroll. He's a true builder, founder, speaker, and best-selling author. He has spent his career helping entrepreneurs bet on themselves and win. He is boosting companies to leading a fast-growing AI SAS company, SaaS company. He's
Yeah,
lived through pivots and make breakthroughs, and I believe he's reached over 2 million people a year. Is that accurate?
that's right. Yeah.
That's incredible. That's crazy. So he's always teaching leaders how to move faster, think sharper, and dominate the market. He's going to give us a practical AI playbook built around access, attention, and AI. So we are so excited. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on. Excited to be here with you guys. I got a jammed pack playbook that I want to share with you guys. I also see we've got Lucretia's here from Louisville. So I'm in Kentucky, just outside of Louisville, Kentucky. So if you guys haven't already, let me know in the chat where you're from. If you're a captive or independent, it's always fun to be able to see the difference of those and what you guys are doing and up to. And so I'm super excited to share this webinar with you today. Thank you. Yeah, non-captives, newbie from Michigan's Ingrid. And if you guys see me looking up in this way, I got the chat pulled up. So the whole time we're on here, this is going to be very engaging, a lot of dialogue. This is not a monologue, so to speak. And so let me get the screen shared and we will get this thing kicked off. I'm so excited. I've been prepping for this thing for weeks. And so here we go. Let me know in the chat if you guys can see my screen. It should say Coach Carroll, the AI playbook, winning in the new era of business. Perfect. Everybody can see that. I'm going to actually move my chat over here on this window so I can look at this a little easier with you guys. And I'm excited to do this with you all. I'm hoping today that we can cover my insane AI playbook that has doubled my revenue without adding any more headcount, and how you guys can ethically steal this and implement it in the next 24 hours, or better said, the AI secret agent strategy on how to extract more from the quote wizard leads that you guys are already paying for, and how you can stop missing the ones that you don't see. Let me see a one in the chats if you're like, hey, this is what I'm here for. This is what I was hoping to learn. These are the things that I'm looking to take away. Put a one in the chat for me. If you were looking for the cooking class, that's next week. I'm just joking. But I got Amy, Christine, Angel, Matthew, Joseph, Michael, Selena. Iris is in here. Everybody's ready to rock and roll. So Melinda said cooking class. Sorry, Melinda. That's next week. So cool, guys. If you're like, hey, who is this bald-headed guy on here with the Dave Ramsey headset? My name is Coach Carroll, as Gina introduced me. Listen, guys, I come from humble beginnings and I've got big goals. My dad never made more than $20 an hour, and my mom stayed home and raised me and my brother Nick, who is also the COO of the company and is on the call with us, as well as Amanda is here with us as well, who's our chief of staff. They're going to assist me on this webinar. I've been an entrepreneur my entire adult life, guys. Senior year of high school, turned down 8 football scholarships, started mowing grass, grew that to 3 million revenue, sold it, and have since then built multiple businesses. And I share this with you because I'm a student and a practitioner. Okay, so nothing I'm going to share with you guys today is from a place of pontification, meaning I'm not like trying to preach from the mountaintop something that I didn't build. Everything that I share with you guys today will be rooted in actual proof, right? Because I don't know about you all, but I'm tired of hopping on webinars where people just expel ideas and nothing has been battle tested. And I'm also a bootstrap entrepreneur. So I don't know, maybe somebody in here, let us know in the chat, like if your uncle showed up with a suitcase full of money to help you start your insurance office, or, a big PE firm came in and helped you get started. What I find most of the time working with independent and captive agents all across the US is that they're bootstrap entrepreneurs as well. It means that you've had to pay your own way, build your business, and you're my kind of people. I've also built some really cool AI powered technology. I'll show you guys some of that today. But I want to know, put a two in the chat. Put a two in the chat if you guys have a Chat GPT account. I want to know. I want to know how many people in here have a Chat GPT account. Christine, Anthony, Michael, Angel, Elena. Wow, lots of you guys. Most of you guys, almost all of you guys, you've got a Chat GPT account. And so I wanted to do this so that you guys could see. Matthew's rocking the pro account. I love that. Here's the thing, guys. Chat GPT was what broke this loose. Joe, after my heart, using Claude. And so a lot of us have Chat GPT accounts, but we're also having challenges, right? And so as I talk to people, I just got off the road. I spent about 6.5 weeks on my latest book tour, the Hunter Head Game that we published, doing the AI playbook for audiences just like this one. And here's what I heard. I heard that you guys don't fully use AI because you don't fully understand it, right? Put a 1 in the chat if that's you, that you're not fully using AI just for the simple fact that you don't fully understand it. Okay, cool. James, Amy, Jacqueline, I see you guys. Thank you all for your honesty and your openness. We're all in a safe environment today, guys, so we can get a little vulnerable in here. And I also heard this, is that I'm not sure how much impact AI will actually make on my business, right? Put a 2 in the chat if that's you. Like maybe you haven't fully went in on it because you're like, I don't really understand like where the impact is going to be, right? And so you don't want to spend a ton of time on it. And I totally get that. A lot of you guys. And how about my people that are just like, hey man, I just need like 10 extra hours a day and I'd be totally fine because I don't have time to buy the tools that I need, let alone set them up. Put a 3 in the chat if that's you guys. And some of you all see 1, 2s, and 3s. So I totally get that. We all wish we could get more time out of every day. And so these are going to be the challenges that in my short amount of time that I've got with you guys today, I want to make sure that I share these with you, that I cover these, and so that you get the most value. Because listen, you're taking time out of your busy day, out of your schedule to be here with me today. And so I want to make sure you get tons of value. Nicole says 3, but AI scares me like Skynet. I get that. We'll talk about that. I did remove the Terminator image from the presentation today. So let's hop into this first one, guys. I don't fully utilize AI because I don't understand it. And I think it's best to just show you guys some use cases of how I use AI in different ways. Back in January, I was actually invited to a mastermind down in Cancun. I got invited to come down and do the AI playbook. And so on the way there, I don't know if anybody in here put a 1 in the chat if you've been to Cancun before. Anybody traveled to Cancun? If you don't know, you can like take a gallon to go margarita, right, with you, which is pretty cool. So the guy hopped in the cab and we're like, awesome, man, we're going. And I'm like kind of talking to him and he's just kind of smiling, saying, yeah. And I'm like, he doesn't understand what I'm saying. So I pulled up ChatGPT, I put it in voice mode, and I say, hey, I'm in the middle of this Uber ride. I need you to help me translate. It was like, I got you. And I was like, hey, cool. Tell this guy I need to stop. I need to use a restroom and get some snacks. Right? It was about a 45-minute drive to the resort. And it was like, hey, no problem. And it said this at the bottom. I saw baño. So I was like, hey, I know it said bathroom. And the guy's like, hey, no problem. Right now, where the guy stopped and pulled into is a different story. I said, hey, buddy, I think I'll hold it until we get to the resort. But then we get to the resort later on that night. My wife and I are at dinner. And I'm looking at the dessert menu because like old Coach Carroll never skips dessert. I love dessert. And I said, hey, can you help me out? All these are in Spanish. Later, my wife would tell me that the margaritas were clearly kicking in because there was English right underneath of it. But at the headline read, I was like, oh, this is all in Spanish. I don't know what to get. Here's the wild thing, guys. ChatGPT recommended the exact same dessert that the restaurant server recommended to me. I thought that was pretty wild. And then lastly, just as kind of a fun one here, we were walking on the beach. I was like, holy crap, what is that thing? It looks like a guinea pig on steroids, but it's in a Gucci, if you were wondering. They're running around on the beach, but these are just some ways, right? I took a picture with ChatGPT and boom, it gave me the feedback there. So just some easy ways that you can use your ChatGPT account in your everyday life. But how did we get here? Right? The Pope in a poofy jacket, fake images of the president getting ripped out onto the streets by the police officers, and then Zuck's trying to be cool. God save his soul. He's on the runway here, right? It's like, how did we get here? It's like we blinked and we went from COVID to all of this. And so this is the first framework I'm going to be teaching you guys today. This is the access, attention, and AI framework. And again, I'm going to go quick on this because we have limited time. I want to make sure I get through everything and then save time for questions at the end, as well as you guys want to make sure you stick around all the way to the end. I'm going to be giving away a free Amazon Fire tablet to one of you all that are right here in the audience with us on this call. So for the 100 plus that you of you that are in here, hang around to the end. It's going to be good stuff. I'm going to give you guys, one of you guys are going to win a Fire tablet. So let's dive into this. Access, attention, AI, the framework that I created. The first one was access. These were the three technological waves that have hit small businesses in the past couple decades. The first one was access. Put a one in the chat if you guys remember the AOL CD-ROMs. Anybody remember those? Did you guys ever get one of those? Put a one in the chat for me if you got one of the AOL CD-ROMs where it was like, 500 hours of free internet use. Fun fact, at the peak of this, somebody said I'm not that old. I love it. At the peak of that, the CD-ROMs, right? AOL was printing half of all the CD-ROMs in production, right? It was insane. It was a massive direct mail campaign. It's how they got people on the internet. And this was the access tidal wave. This allowed you to get access to customers and information like never before. You could go search information online, and for a while, people thought the internet was a fad. There's a funny story of Jeff Bezos saying that he raised his first $1 million round. A third of the investors had no idea what the internet even was, let alone what selling books on the internet looked like. And so the point here is that I don't think anybody in the webinar today is going to say, hey, the internet's still a fad, right? I think we can all agree that that is not the case. Now, the second one was attention. This was social media. Put a 5 in the chat if you guys are on social media. If you've got social media profiles for your account, I'm curious how many of you all are utilizing that. Love it, love it, love it. Yes, absolutely. Guys, I've been doing social media with agents for over a decade. And back in 2016, a lot of you guys thought that it was a fad. It was for kids. It wasn't a viable option. But here's the thing. Social media allows you to speak directly to your customers. You don't have to pay the newspaper, the radio station, the billboard, or the television station anymore, let alone even if you could afford it, right? Because that's one of the most expensive forms of advertising is television. Here's the thing, guys. You are now able to talk directly to your customers like never before. And then came this thing called artificial intelligence, right? It was wild. This thing has completely blown the top off. And I hopped on ChatGPT back in November of 2022. We'll talk about that a little bit more here in a bit. But what was different was access was information. Attention was the human beings that we could sell to. We could finally say, hey, look at me. But AI is different in the sense that it's not about information or customers. It's about actually doing the work. It can do the labor. It can do things for your business. And so if you have access and you have attention, but you're not using AI today, you're what I call the overworked operator. Now, if you have access and you're using AI, but you don't have any attention, then you're the invisible machine, right? I often say, if I don't know you, I can't flow you. It's one of my favorite quotes. I can't spend my money with you if I don't know who you are, right? And a lot of you all, the biggest challenge you've got right now is just not enough people know who you are and what you sell. But if you do have that attention, you're using AI, but you've got no access, then you're the influencer with no address. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys feel like you're the overworked operator today, right? Running the gauntlet every single man. Angel was quick on that one. Holy smokes. Linda's, overworked. Emily's overworked. Charlie's overworked. Kathy's overworked. I get it, guys. I was the overworked operator too until November of 2022 when I hopped on this little thing called ChatGPT. And I said, holy smokes, man, if this thing can make images, right? I post a ton of content. I'm reaching a lot of people online. But if this thing could post content for me, that would be a game changer, right? And so I asked ChatGPT the other day, I said, hey, can you tell me like where I'm at in ranking of users? It said, I can't do that, but I can tell you that your account's over 3 years old. You're on a pro plan. You're active 25 of the last 30 days. Your average message length is 10,000 plus characters. I write with this thing, right? We're back and forth. And I run long, strategic, multi-threaded sessions. But it wasn't always like that. Back in November 2022, I remember the prompt. I said, Draw me an image of a family standing in front of a house. That was it, right? I just wanted a family standing in front of the house. And so what happened was pretty wild is as it loaded down the screen, their faces were melting, their fingers were real droopy and long and slender, right? Kind of scary. And what I realized was like, holy smokes, man. This technology is not there. It's not what it's all cracked up to be. But there is a fundamental belief that I have, and write this one down if you guys are taking notes. Technology is undefeated. And so I knew that I didn't need to skate to where the puck was. I needed to skate to where it was going. If Wayne Gretzky only knew what he was talking about in that quote, holy smokes, right? And so off to the races I went, and I've been using ChatGPT hot and heavy ever since then. And so as we hop back into the playbook here, I've done some really cool things with AI, right? We've made images, we've made videos, but most notably was my book. So it's back here over the top corner, The Hunt Your Head Game. It came out in October. We did the book launch last year. This was a 500-page manuscript that I'd been working on for about a decade. And now I'll give you guys a little secret. I'll get a little vulnerable with you. I'm dyslexic, okay? I was never supposed to write a book. Utilizing Claude and ChatGPT, I was able to take this 500-page manuscript and distill it down into 262 pages of what I think is my entrepreneur manifesto. The byline is that the old world rewarded obedience, the new world demands killer instincts. The whole premise of this book is that things are a-changing, right? And so the go to college, stay in a career for 30 years, get your pension, like that doesn't work anymore. And it's definitely not working as we see layoffs, right? Jack Dorsey laid off 4,000 people. Oracle just laid off 10,000 people. Like it's crazy, right? We're going through massive disruption right now, and it's going to continue. But I do want to make sure that you guys understand, out of all the cool stuff that we can do with AI, I want you to understand what it is and what it isn't, because I think that's super important, okay? And so I think we can all agree right now that ChatGPT, Claude, pick your favorite, it can write better than humans can, all right? Like, how many of you guys, put a 1 in the chat if in the past month you've taken an email that you were going to send and ran it through ChatGPT before you sent that out, right? Anybody? Yeah, lots of you guys. Almost, yeah, tons of you. Yeah, ones. Lots of you guys are using it because it can write really, really well, right? Like spell check is, child's play at this point. But here's the thing it's missing. And this is where I want you guys to understand how AI works. Context and memory are what's holding it back. Context is short-term memory. Think about Dory from Finding Nemo, right? It is, imagine if you had a team member that you had a meeting with at 9 a.m. and by 9 a.m. the next morning, they forgot what you talked about, right? Now, ChatGPT has gotten much better with this here recently, but if you guys have been on it, if you've got any power users in here that were on like in 2023, 2024, you would have conversations with it. You'd start a new thread or a new chat, and it would have no idea what you had talked about 5 minutes prior, right? That's called context window. And so what also happens, and I learned this when I was editing my book, is that if you run really, really, really long chats, it also will forget things, right? It runs out of that context window. What makes us human is our context window. We're all different, each and every single one. Antonio, Liza, Emily, Melinda, Lane, you guys are all different because of the context that you have from the life that you lived, built on top of our long-term memory. Now, I will tell you, this is improving drastically. Some of these models are improving 400% quarter over quarter. So I want you to kind of rethink what is possible and what might be, what this looks like in the next 12 months, right? As context windows and memories improve. I think, this is my Babe Ruth call my shot moment. I think that we'll truly get to AGI, artificial general intelligence, means it's like super smart, right? When it has token context windows and memory that is equal to a human. It's not about it doing the work. That's already there. What really makes a human magical is that we can remember things and that we have context. That's what makes us unique. But here's the thing, guys. None of this matters if you don't know your numbers. Okay, because the fundamental beliefs, the fundamental principles of business still ring true. AI cannot fix a sloppy business. AI cannot improve a business that has a bad manager or a bad owner. Let me know in the chat. Put a 1 if you're an owner, put a 2 if you're like a team member or a manager. I want to know who I'm chatting with just so we can make sure that we're going. We got a couple team members. We got, okay, I'm seeing ones, twos, ones, twos, ones, twos, ones, twos. Okay, pretty equally sparsed out here. Check this out, guys. If you're an owner, I'm going to give you something that less than 5% of you guys track. If you're a team member, dude, I'm about to give you information that if you take it back to your owner, they're going to be like, whoa, that's what you learned on the webinar. So check this out. It's LTV and CAC, okay? Your LTV is your lifetime value of your customer. It is impossible for you to track ROI or improvements on anything if you don't know your LTV. That is simply simply figured out by taking your annual revenue per client times the number of years that the client stays with you. Don't worry, I've already done the work for you. Insurance Journal did a big study on this. The average monolined policyholder, which we shouldn't be doing, right? Like, Gina and her team sends you guys leads. We should be bundling those bad boys up, giving them their umbrella coverage. Like, let's max out the dollars we can get. But on a monoline, it's about $2,500 in lifetime values, what a customer is revenue to the agent. But now we also have to know what our customer acquisition cost is, right? Because if our customers are worth $2,500, how much can we afford to pay to get those customers? This is the total money spent on sales and marketing divided by the number of clients that you get. Why do I tell you this? Because this is fundamental business. If you can get customers for less than what they're worth to you, you can make money, right? If I say, hey, I'll give you a $500 customer if you give me 100, you guys would do that bet all day long, right? But if I said, hey, give me $500 and I'll give you a $100 customer, you're not going to do that very many times before you go out of business, okay? So fundamental numbers here. I want to make sure that you guys got this. This has nothing to do with AI. It has everything to do with you running a better business, okay? But let's turn the programming back to the AI. Even Meta is getting in the game. How many of you guys in here run Facebook ads? Put a 1 in the chat. Let me see. Because Meta has gotten in the game. Before AI, Meta was very shallow. It only understood that, you saw shoe ads, you clicked on shoe ads, and so like you like shoe content, so they're like, hey, this is a shoe person, right? Some of my ladies in here are like, oh, DJ's talking to me right now, coach is on to me. But check this out, this was all very basic, okay? Last year, they dropped Andromeda, which is their AI platform, and so now Meta watches everything. They know what color shoes you look at. They know what designs make you stop scrolling. They know when you scroll fast and when you slow down. They know what time you'll buy. Are you a morning shopper or an evening shopper? Do you like videos or static images? Do you react more to emotional content or funny, realistic content? And are you buying from home late at night or on your office breaks, team members? I'm looking at you. Meta now builds full behavioral patterns on every single user utilizing AI. And so if you ever thought that Zucks was listening, he 100% is, okay? We can all agree with that now. So who here spends, you guys put that in there that you put a 1 in the chat for running paid ads, but how many of you guys are creating content for those paid ads, right? Obviously, if you're running money, you're spending money on ads, you're also probably doing some type of content. Let me know in the chat, are you making photos? Are you doing videos? I want to know like who here spends money or time creating content every single month, because I think this is going to be super powerful. I make a lot of content, guys. On Facebook, I've got about 12,000 followers. My YouTube channel reaches about 100,000 people every 90 days, and we're just shy of 30,000 followers on Instagram. And so in November of 2022, when I made that image with ChatGPT, I was like, holy smokes, this is going to be a game changer. But what I didn't know was generative AI has actually been around for a really long time. This is an image called Trippy Squirrel. It was leaked out of Google DeepMind, which is their AI lab, back in 2015, okay? And this just goes to show you that the technology has been here for a while. That's kind of crazy. It looks like a slug to me. I don't know why I don't know. Maybe let me know if you guys put a 1 in the chat if you think you see a squirrel there. I see more of a slug. But what I'm going to share with you guys over the next 3 slides are images that are using the exact same prompt, but they're 3 years apart, okay? So same model, same prompt, 3 years apart. Check out this difference. On the left, that was 3 years ago. On the right, that is today. Check this one out. 3 years ago on the left, on the right, today. And then this one, which, again, I don't know why a guy's yelling at an ant, but nonetheless, look at the detail, look at the improvements. It's pretty crazy, right? And so the point of this is that you guys can use AI to improve the content, the social media stuff you guys are already doing, right? So like some of you probably took a picture like this, a screenshot from Google Maps of your office, and you said, hey guys, stop in for great rates and a friendly quote, right? And I would tell you that's boring. uh, what you should do is use AI to spice it up a bit. And you should say something like, hey guys, when we say to drop in for great rates and friendly service, we don't mean literally drop in. Please use the parking lot. Okay. And so you can use AI to change your content. And if let me know put a one in the chat. You guys want the prompt that I use to do this? Put a one in the chat. I'll give you the prompt. Cool. Michelle, Charlie. Yep. Cool. So check this out, guys. I said, hey, here's an image of my office. Crash a blue car into the roof. Ta-da, that's it. So it's not as hard as it thinks. This was using Google Gemini. But what about video? Okay, I've been doing video for a really long time. This is video from circa 2010. No, you can't find it online. No, I will not play this for you. I was back when I had hair and I talked like this. It was bad, okay? But it doesn't negate the fact that 3 times the engagement across video versus graphics, okay? So keep posting your images, but let's make some video content as well. 78% of people watch video online each week, and a third of all online activity is watching video. So I think it's safe to say we should probably be making some videos. I'm going to go ahead and share this video that is always fun for me to play here. Oh, there we go. Oh, it says the audio is not playing. Let's see here. Give me a second, guys. So that one's pretty funny because that was all AI generated. I didn't have the checkbox. Oh, we don't have the sound available. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Share this back up here. There we go. So basically this video, it's the music is Why Can't We Be Friends, right? And so it just goes to show you the ability for you guys to use video generated via AI to create content in your business, right? Super powerful. It's definitely something you should be working on. All right, so here's my top tools for that. Google VEO3 is super cool for making video content. Higgsfield is good for motion graphics. Synthesia is good for talking head training videos. And then Neural Frames is good if you want to like chop a bunch of clips together, okay? I was at an event and I saw Kevin O'Leary and I was chatting with him and he told me this. He said, dude, every company I'm involved in is using AI now. From content to ads to customer acquisition. What they're seeing is that it cuts cost and improves output and gives them an edge over the competition, right? But I'm like, hey, Kevin, that's all great if people know how to use it. So what I'm going to teach you guys now is my 10-80-10 prompting framework, okay? This is how you can use and abuse these AI models to the best ability possible, okay? So when we prompt it, it's 10% done by the human, which is, who is it? Like, tell the AI who you are. You're a creative director. You're a copywriter. You're a legal assistant. You're a high-level coach and consultant to CEOs, right? You've got to tell it who it is because it has all the knowledge in the world. And we got to sort through that so it focused on only the information that is important for what we're utilizing it for, okay? So who are you? What do we need to accomplish? Give it the outcome. Don't tell it what to do. Give it the outcome on what you want to accomplish. Then tell it the must. What must it give you in its response? How many of you guys in here put a 1 in the chat if you've ever asked ChatGPT a yes or no question and it gave you 4 paragraphs as a response? Yep. All of you guys, absolutely. That's your fault, not ChatGPT's. Write this down. Picnic, problem in chair, not in computer, okay? And so we've got to do better at prompting it. So we got to say, hey, what it is and must give me. Hey, give me a 3-sentence response. Give me a yes or no response. Or give me a, you must include 3 paragraphs plus your cited sources, right? You've got to tell it what you need out of it. And then lastly, the give is to give me any questions that you need me to answer to clarify so that you can do the best work possible. Oftentimes, it will ask you 2, 3, 4, 5 questions so that you then can just put it on voice mode, answer those questions. You'll be off to the races, okay? Next, we're going to let the things cook, all right? You can use ChatGPT, Meta, Gemini, Grok, DeepSeek. I'm a big fan of Claude. And then once it gives us our output, we're going to say, hey, here's how we review it, right? We're going to read through it. If you guys don't know about canvases in ChatGPT, you can say, give me the output in a canvas. That allows you to real-time edit with ChatGPT. Keeps you from having to go back and forth, copy and paste in their response into a Google document. You can edit it right there. If you need to repeat the steps, you can go back to the first 10 and rerun the prompt until you get it to a place that you're happy with, okay? This right here will save you guys hours and hours and hours a month from having to re-prompt it, re-engage with it, getting bad responses, okay? So highly recommend the 10-80-10 approach. That will help you tremendously, okay? So we're at the bottom of the hour. I want to check in with you guys. How you doing? Let me know in the chat. What's your biggest takeaway? Or give me a 2 if you're still with me. You're like, hey, I'm cranking, coach. This is good stuff. Let's keep it moving. Put a 2 in the chat if you're still with me. Good. Casey, Brian, Antonio, Anthony, Matt, Kate. Whoa, you guys are coming in so fast I can't see them. Liza, Steven, Melinda. Awesome, guys. Fantastic. And again, hang around till the end because we're going to be giving that tablet away. So is it safe to say, put a 1 in the chat if you guys are confident that, hey, you guys now fully understand that you can use AI, right? I just broke down several cases that you can utilize it. There's no reason for you to not be utilizing AI. Awesome. Yeah. Constantine's in here. Casey's in here. Love it, love it, love it. All right, cool. Also see some questions coming in. Guys, I promise you I'll save time. We might have to run a little bit over, but I will save time for Q&A at the end. I will not get off this call until every single one of your questions are answered, all right? So we don't fully utilize AI because we don't understand it. Now we understand it. You understand how it works. You understand use cases. So let's tackle this one. I'm not sure how much impact AI will actually make in my business, right? Maybe it's a lot of hype. Maybe it's a lot of buzz. You guys may have seen that 95% of AI initiatives in the enterprise world, in big corporate, they're failing, right? 95%, only 5% of them are actually getting implemented. And so I want to make sure that we nail down this one really good, okay? There are really only a few ways for your clients to get in touch with you, okay? Can we all agree that the phone, your website, and social media is about it? Maybe some of you guys still have walk-ins. Maybe every once in a while you'll get an email. But by and large, put a 1 in the chat if you agree with me that the phone, your website, and also social media are about the only front doors that you have inside of your business. Okay? Yes, ones. All right, we're all on the same page here. And by and large, it's the phone, right? Because let's face it, like in insurance, we can't say buy one, get one free, right? Buy an auto policy, get one free. You can't really captive agents, you can't edit your website. So like we can't improve conversion. Most of our leads are going to come from the phone. And so I want to tell you a quick story about Front Desk Debbie. Front Desk Debbie worked for me. She was an elderly lady in one of my businesses when I was starting out. And she did a great job, okay? She was on time. She showed up every day, 9 to 5, right? She was there. I didn't have the millennials or the Gen Zers, the Gen Alpha problem of the silent quitting with Front Desk Debbie. She showed up every single day. But we were closed on weekends and we were closed on holidays, much like you guys, right? We just had Easter go past and I don't think anybody was open on Easter Sunday. But I also realized that Debbie had to take lunch breaks and potty breaks. And also, like, sometimes the team members would be in the office chatting with her or she'd get busy and she'd miss these phone calls, right? And so Debbie was great, but we were still missing calls and she was costing me about $45,000 a year. And so I did some research and I said, hey, how unique am I? Like, is the norm that people miss calls? And I was actually blown away. Found this from 411 Locals. Almost 60% of the phone calls that come into small businesses either go unanswered because voicemail's not set up or, they do go to voicemail, right? And they leave a message. Only about a third of the calls are actually live answered. Now, some of you guys are better at answering calls, and kudos for you. You run a tight ship, you train your team. But some of you guys are running small ships, and it's like, hey, dude, I only got 2 people. Like, I can only answer 2 phone calls at once, right? And so I was like, no way. There's no way that 60% of calls are going unanswered. We got to be better than that. But unfortunately, I went to my dashboard, and I saw that we were missing almost half of our calls. And so I said, all right, well, then let's take it offshore, right? We'll find something different for Debbie to do and we'll take it offshore. Not like the fun offshore boat races, but like offshore in Costa Rica. And my brother's eyes are probably twitching right now because he was the one running this team that we had in Costa Rica. But I wasn't a fan of it. They still missed calls. Okay. I was literally lighting money on fire to the tune of about $10,000 in 6 weeks. That didn't even count the thousands of dollars in missed revenue. But I knew I wasn't the only one. And so I started calling around to our clients, people that we had worked with for a while. And I asked them, hey, how do the phone systems work in your offices? And so I talked to people like Ryan, who owns 316 Insurance and had 3 full-time service team members, spending hours each week listening to voicemails from missed calls. It was killing their overall efficiency. And I talked to Kelly James, a farmer's agent. She's a busy mom in Oklahoma. Small 3-person office, and all of their after-hour calls were going to voicemail. It was costing her opportunities on the nights and the weekends. But I also talked to big agents like Joe Lovato, president of L&T Agency Group, spending $160K a month on marketing, buying leads, doing direct mail, and handling service calls from over 32,000 policies in force. He had a big team, but even they were missing calls during business hours, let alone after hours, right? And even twin agents, Casey and Kyle Osmond, buying live transfers for hundreds of dollars a piece, which when they answered them, they worked out great. But they realized that if their calls rolled over to corporate, they were going to lose their new business commission because corporate was closing the deal and they were missing out, effectively lighting thousands of dollars a day on fire. And so I told myself, I said, hey, DJ, don't be lazy. Let's figure this problem out, okay? And this is where I came up with the AI voice winning formula. I'm going to share that with you guys right now. Number 1, human over AI. Humans have large context layers, right? Keith, I see your question. We'll get to it about latency degradation and context bloat, right? That's what makes a human on the phone better. Also, until laws change, they're the only ones that can be licensed and bind the policy. You also don't have what's called edge cases, right? Like you're not going to, oh, I'm sorry, I don't understand what you said, right? They're going to be better than AI, and it's the norm. People totally expect to talk to a human when they call into an office for now. But then I came up with the second step of this, which was AI over voicemail, right? You can create consistency. You can create on-brand conversations. It's faster and more effective, which Gen Z and millennials actually prefer. They don't want to talk to humans. And it creates two-way conversation versus a one-way recording. And then lastly, we're going to do voicemail over a missed call, right? Because it's passive, and 70% of prospects, they won't leave a voicemail. They'll just hang up. And 34% of leads hang up and dial the competitor because you guys are in a demand constraint business, meaning like, I don't need insurance till I need it. And then when I need it, boy, do I need it, right? And so I took this AI winning voice formula, and that is what birthed Allie's AI Voice, which is our AI platform. And now, Keith, I appreciate you saying, hey, latency degradation and context bloat, because let's be frank, in the early models back in 23, 24, even early parts of 25, they were bad. The latency, which for those of you guys that don't know what that means, it's the pause in between. Let me know in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever tried a voice agent, if you've ever done like a test call and talked to one. I'm curious how many of you guys have actually talked to AI, because I want to do a quick demo for you all and just give Allie a call. And while I'm doing this, you can feel free to text her the word AI. She'll send you all the frameworks from today's presentation. But let me give her a quick call so we can say what's up.
Hey, Coach.
Yeah, I can hear you, Allie. How's it going?
Coach, dive in.
Yeah,
I've
got the team here. Oh, I lost the call. Let me call it back real quick. Fat thumbed it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Allie. Hey, I've got the team here on the call with me. We're doing the webinar with the team from Lending Tree. And listen, I'm super excited because Quote Wizard has really put together a great group of people today. I'm curious, though, maybe some of the people in here think that AI isn't real or that the technology is not good enough. You want to say hello to everybody?
Hey, Coach. To be here with you. Team. The room is or should I algorithm enhanced? To everyone listening, I'm Allie. I'm here to prove that it isn't just real. Already running the trying to keep.
Oh, I think my Bluetooth is cutting in and out. How about this, guys? You could hear how good her voice is there. Do this. Rick, don't comment it in there. You got to text it to Allie, but I'll let you guys experience it for yourself. You can call her 502-401-1234 when we hop off of here. The ability for her to stream the audio is what's super impressive, okay? And maybe because there's so many people on the call. We did the check earlier, and it came through just fine. But here's what happened, guys. When I implemented Allie's AI voice into my business, things changed quick, right? We cut our response time for both leads and decisions by 50%, giving us a 100% increase in that. And Allie now handles over 1,000 calls a day in my business, but also for the agents that we implemented her into, right? Like Ryan here. Ryan said, hey, we're using Allie and she's reducing delays. She's also improving response time and overall client experience. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this audio because I can't share my audio, but I had Kelly James in here as well. Can't hear. Let me see if I can get the sound working, guys.
I
How
have
about
been
now?
using
Yes, we can hear it.
from Carroll
Okay, cool.
after hours answering service for about a month now. And she's just so amazing. She's smart, she's integrated. The work that Carroll Media has put into her is just amazing. I signed up and then I was like, hey, I need her to say these things. I need a change. And it was done within just 10 minutes. They said, okay, go listen to her now. And she's so smart. And even last night I was at the arcade with my kids and she sent me an email from a potential customer that we had called earlier in the day yesterday and told me the complete conversation. Even the customers think she's real, y'all. So it's a no-brainer.
So, it's crazy. We actually had one call that came through to an agent of ours. It was about, I don't know, 8.5 minutes. And the guy told his whole life story. His brother had passed away. He was talking about lowering, letting his insurance lapse cancel because he couldn't afford it. And Allie was like, no, you don't want to do that. It'll make your rates go up, but we can help you, right? And so it was like an 9.5 minute phone call. The guy had no idea he was talking to AI, right? It was wild. And even for the big agents like Joe, right? Allie's catching on average 52 leads a day now for this guy. It's crazy. And at an average LTV of the Insurance Journal's $2,500, and assuming he's just closing 10% of those leads, you're talking about over $200,000 in LTV every single month, right? It's pretty crazy. And even the twin agents, right? 0 calls have went to corporate since signing up with Allie, and they're saving thousands of dollars in potential lost commissions. Well, Larry, I see your question. I'll answer it because it's a quick one. Can it help screen spam calls? Absolutely, man. About 1/3 of the calls that come into your guys' office are spam, which means that your producers are answering calls they shouldn't be and missing the customers that they should be answering the calls on, right? And so here's the notable quotable from Allie, guys. You can lower your customer acquisition cost, what it costs you to get a customer, if you just get more leads from what you're already doing. No need to spend more on marketing. Just get more from the marketing that you're already using. Michelle, yes, everything is compliant from a TCPA standpoint and a privacy data standpoint for all the major carriers. So we'll get into these questions, guys. I don't want to get derailed. We only got 15 minutes left. We're going to get through this. So guys, can we all agree? Put a 1 in the chat if you're now understanding how AI can help you make more money in your business, right? I'm pretty sure I can check this one off, right? I love it. Everybody's like, yes, yes, yes. Constantine said 13, so I don't know. Maybe he's got a little extra ones there. But let's hop into this one now, right? I don't have time to buy the tools that I need, let alone set them up. Put a 2 in the chat if this is you. You're like, hey, dude, I've been using it. I get it. I know that I need to use it. I know it'll make an impact. I just don't know how to do it, what platform to use, or how to even get the stuff set up. Cool. Lots of you guys, Kathy, Nicole, Patrick, Linda, James, Charlie, love it, man. So how many of you guys feel like this right now? Put a 1 in the chat, because I know I've went fast. We're about 45 minutes in. Anybody feeling like this? Just a little bit of like fire hose. Gina, hopefully we're bringing them lots of value, and they've got a good amount of information we've shared so far. So as we close out this last one, guys, I want you to think, how would it feel to never miss a call in your office ever again? You guys to think, if all this did was land you 5 new accounts, would it be worth it? Right? Like, would it be worth 10 grand to get 5 new customers? I don't know. Maybe for some of you, yes. You're really good at bundling. Maybe for some of you, no. But what if it lowered your burdens on your team, as well as cut the time for you all to respond to customers? Would that be worth it? What if you could be the only, what if Allie was the only receptionist you ever need to hire again? Because guess what, guys? She's not married. She doesn't have kids. She doesn't call in sick. Her car doesn't break down, right? Would that be worth 10 grand? Because a lot of you all, if you hire a receptionist today, they're going to cost you more than 10 grand before you even get them out of training.